The famous novel The Inheritors by William Golding. The story begins with a small group of these people living in a forest. There is Loke, a thoughtful, cautious man, tall and strong, with long dark hair, broad shoulders, and a calm, serious face. His skin is tanned, his arms are muscular from climbing and gathering, and he wears simple clothing made from animal skins. Loke is careful, observant, and deeply concerned about keeping his people safe. He notices danger and tries to think ahead. With Loke are other members of his group. Fa, who is older, wise, and gentle, with gray streaked hair, wrinkled but strong hands, and a face that shows patience and kindness. Tyr, a younger man, fast and strong, with keen eyes, dark hair, and a bold, curious expression. And Newface, a boy still learning about the world, wide-eyed, curious, and impressionable, with short dark hair and a slim, small frame. There is also Sredni Vashtar, a small childlike figure in some parts, playful and alert, though timid. Together, they live in a forest full of food, rivers, and shelter. They hunt, gather fruit, and live in harmony with nature. One day, while the group is out hunting and exploring, they encounter something completely new: humans like us. These new humans are taller, thinner, and pale-skinned. Their faces are sharper, their eyes clever but cunning. They wear clean clothes and carry strange tools. Unlike Loke and his people, these humans use fire deliberately, build structured homes, and organize themselves in ways that seem alien to the Neanderthals. The Neanderthals are afraid of these newcomers. They have never seen humans like this before. Loke notices immediately that they are dangerous, not in a violent way at first, but in how different and unpredictable they are. The humans are curious about the Neanderthals, observing them quietly. The newcomers communicate in words, speak clearly, and seem capable of planning, lying, and hunting in ways the Neanderthals cannot fully understand. The story unfolds from the Neanderthals' perspective. Golding carefully shows how Loke and his people perceive the humans. The Neanderthals see shadows, hear strange noises, and sense the humans as something dangerous. They cannot fully understand the humans' thoughts or language, but they instinctively know that these newcomers are clever, unpredictable, and potentially deadly. Loke's group tries to continue their simple life despite this new presence. They hunt deer and other animals, gather fruits and roots, and live by the rules of their ancestors. They have strong bonds of trust and loyalty. They care for one another, share food, and protect each other. Their strength is in their unity and simplicity. But the presence of the humans creates tension and fear. Loke notices small signs of their intelligence. They set traps, communicate in ways the Neanderthals cannot understand, and plan their actions carefully. One day, Tyr, who is more reckless than Luck, approaches the humans too closely. The Neanderthals are amazed at how fast, quiet, and precise the humans are. They use weapons and strategy in hunting, and they can capture prey that the Neanderthals could not. Locke feels both awe and fear, realizing that these newcomers are a new kind of animal, one that is stronger in cunning and planning than the Neanderthals. The humans, in turn, are wary of Locke's group. They see the Neanderthals as strange and primitive, but not harmless. They try to observe without confrontation at first, but they are aware of the Neanderthals' territory and the potential competition for food. Over time, the humans become more aggressive. They carry weapons, hide in the forest, and begin to take control of resources the Neanderthals depend on. The tension between the two groups grows. The Neanderthals sense danger, but cannot plan complex strategies like the humans. They rely on instinct, caution, and strength. The humans rely on tools, planning, and fear to dominate. Golding shows the contrast in perception. The Neanderthals feel the world in a direct, sensory way, noticing smells, movements, and emotions, while the humans think in abstract, calculated ways, planning ahead and manipulating. Locke and his people try to avoid the humans, moving silently through the forest, hiding and hunting at night. They use caves for shelter, observe the humans from a distance, and trust their instincts to keep them safe. But the humans are patient and clever. They set traps and lure the Neanderthals into dangerous situations. They use fire as a weapon, smoke the caves, and begin to push the Neanderthals out of the areas they rely on for food.
Despite the threat, Locke continues to care for his people. He teaches Newface about survival, shows him where to find water and food, and warns him about the dangers of the humans. Locke feels a deep sorrow for the change coming to the world. He senses that his people are the last of their kind, that the humans are taking over, and that their gentle, simple way of life cannot survive in this new world.
One of the most important parts of the story is a hunting scene. The Neanderthals spot a deer, and Tyr and Locke attempt to catch it using their traditional methods. They work together, observing, hiding, and waiting. The humans, however, arrive at the same time, using spears and coordinated movement. They kill the deer with precision and skill. The Neanderthals are shocked. They realize that the humans are stronger, not in brute force, but in cleverness, strategy, and coordination. This is a turning point. Locke understands that the humans will take over, and there is little his people can do to resist. The Neanderthals' world begins to shrink. They lose access to food sources, their caves are taken over, and they are constantly watched and hunted by humans. Locke's group faces hunger, fear, and exhaustion. They try to stay alive by moving deeper into the forest and finding new shelter. Golding shows the emotional and psychological toll on the Neanderthals. They feel confusion, fear, grief, and helplessness as the humans dominate. Eventually, the Neanderthals are cornered. In a tragic scene, humans attack their hiding place. Locke and Tyr try to fight, but they are outnumbered and outsmarted. Fa, the old man, is injured and cannot move. The humans are relentless, using fire, noise, and weapons to force the Neanderthals out. Locke and Tyr try to escape with Newface, but their strength and knowledge of the world are no match for the humans' cunning. The story ends on a somber note. Locke, Tyr, and the others are overwhelmed. Golding leaves the final fate of the Neanderthals somewhat open, but it is clear that they cannot survive against the humans. Their gentle, innocent way of life has been replaced by a new, cunning, and aggressive species. The story is a reflection on the passage of time, evolution, and the loss of innocence. The Neanderthals represent a peaceful, natural existence, while the humans represent intelligence, progress, but also violence and domination. I hope you have enjoyed this story, but please like the video and subscribe the channel. Thank you.